Hey, howdy everybody. Whoops. Let me move this mic a little bit closer. It is Friday evening. I'm addicted to looking at charts. I'm not ashamed to admit it. And while looking over these charts, I had an observation today in the morning when I was trading, and then I had it on my mind all day at work. So I got home and immediately started to look at it, and sure enough, it's a really, I think, cool observation of how, well, I'm going to start studying. It has to do with support and resistance and how I'm looking at what levels work and which to plot. So yeah, let me get right into it. So the idea came from today's trade on gold. Now I didn't take it, and I'll explain why I didn't take it really quick. So as you know, how I plot my normal support and resistance, I go on my hourly chart, pop out the line chart, and then I mark up strong buyers and strong sellers, whatever the context is. So in this case, I was looking for a short. So I'm marking up all my strong buyers levels, right? Now I'm not going to go through it, but I can tell you I had this level marked up here. There's buyers here. I had these levels here, buyers, because they created a new high and we're in an uptrend. So I had a few levels. And long story short, those levels, I don't want to say prevented me, but I didn't take them because part of my rules are not to trade into those levels of strong buyers and sellers. However, what I noticed is these candles, even though I had my levels up, it just sliced right through it, and everything else was good to go. I had all my other necessities to take a trade up, but because of those levels, I found myself just sitting on the sidelines. And the one thing that I did realize is I looked over at my hourly chart and I noticed, well, we have this really big candle here. I would imagine it wants to come and test this area here where there's buyers. And if you look from me just plotting that level, you can see exactly where it came and tested, and it broke through, and then it came and rejected it to test it again, and it just stood under it all day long for the rest of the day. And then you also mark up the low of this previous hourly candle, and you notice something else. It bounced off of it, it came up and then it broke through. And once it broke through, after this support had been formed, it essentially just traveled right down to that next lower area. So potentially I could have traded it. I had everything else, like I said. The 30-minute had closed red here, so that's one of the things I look for. I would have wanted to see it lower, of course, near the zero low or below it. My 15-minute had definitely flipped over and was red. I had closed RSI, red RSI on the 15-minute. On 5-minute, and we had a 3CR completed. So all the pieces were lined up, and we were below the dragon. Really good trade, would have worked. Now, what does that lead me to? Well, I started thinking about it, and one of the things that I do in order to take my trades or look for my entries is I take the break of the previous candle, only the previous candle, because I've noticed on every time frame, I've noticed that on the 15 and the 30 and the 5, the only candle that, and this is just from what I've seen, so do your own research, of course, but from what I've noticed, only the most recent candle matters. So when you want to take a trade, as long as you're taking the trade and breaking the previous 30-minute and 15-minute and 5-minute candle low, you are good. You are in good shape, of course, and the hourly. But I'm just talking about the 15, 30, and 5 right now. So that kind of inspired me to think, well, maybe the hourly works the same way, because the way I would look at my resistance before, it would be all kinds of levels throughout here within this bar. But really, when you think about it, it just broke right through here and traveled to the next area down. So let me give you another example. Let's go to, say, MES. Right? Okay, so let's go over here and let's do the same song and dance. So let's mark up there, and on the hourly you've got your level there, and you move to the left. Next candle over is a wick fill, right? And then beyond that you have this open of this hourly candle there. And of course you have to look at the 4 hour too. I'm just going through the 1 hour right now to show you my idea. And you can already see on the 5 minute what happened. So let's go through it. We had a green bar close on the RSI on the 15 minute. It was also a 3CR up. We were definitely 3CR'd up on the 5 minute. We had closed green RSI here, and once we broke through this wick here, it filled the wick. I wouldn't have traded this because you need to see the RSI close green, so it closed kind of high up here. However, it did fill it. I'm sure you could have grabbed it on the 1 minute. And then once it broke through this level, look what happened. Came down, retested it, moved right back up, tested the next area, and stayed within that range for quite a while, only to come back down. And then check this out. Let's see. So that was that trade. Cool, we got it. Now it's just ranging. Let's wait for our next trade. And then what do we get? RSI closes red here on the 15 minute. We start to flip over to the net to below zero. 30 minute is starting to look like a volume bomb. And then we go to the hourly again. These are all areas of support here, but the most recent one is here, this, and then beyond that you look left and there's nothing besides this green body. So let's mark up the open there, and you can already see, look what happened. It broke below this hourly low here, came down, came back up, retested it, went straight down, and tested this open where there's buyers. We know there's buyers. Once it bounced up, rejected again, and came back down. It broke this level. What's the next level? You mark up the low here. Look what it tested. Tested this wick fill. So the idea is essentially look at your hourly, look at your 4 hour, look to the left. What's your leftmost candle? If it's this low here, okay, great. This is then your area of support or resistance. If there's something to the left as well, that becomes your next level of support resistance. And then until you get something like this, where basically this body kind of in a way disregards the rest of this chart to the left. It becomes like this. This is what you start seeing. This is your range. This is what you have to worry about, not what's behind it, not what's all the way over here. You start looking over here once you're breaking new highs. So like I showed you on that first case where we were looking for the long, okay, we broke the high here, so what do we do? Now we look left and we start looking for our next area all the way over here, and it keeps going, so it just goes, okay, this is our level. Great, we broke that. What's our next level? There. Okay, what's the next level after that? This high here, this open here. And it keeps moving up and up and up like that. And from what I'm seeing, I think this is pretty reliable from a scalping standpoint, the way we trade our 3CRs. So everything else that I trade normally still applies. I'm still looking for my 3CRs on the higher time frames. I'm still looking for RSI closed bar. It's exactly the same way I'm trading. I'm just looking at this resistance and support a bit differently, because I think the fact that we're trading such a fast-paced scalping method, the most respected areas of support and resistance are the most recent, just because that's where the most footprint, that's where the most money, most recent money is at. And I think it works in our favor to look as recent as possible. So I want to go over, let's see if I can show one more example. I bet you this is a good one right here. So let's mark that up. Bear with me, please. Gotta go through all this scrolling. Okay, so let's do it again. We had although very small, 1.1. It was a close, an RSI bar, green close on the 15-minute, and the 30-minute. Wasn't above the 0 level yet, but it closed green, which is what we're looking for. So we got that. We were closed above the dragon on the 5-minute. I can see the 3CR right here, 1, 2, and 3. We pulled back, went up, and let's see. Yeah, so again, this is our level. Once we look left, once this is broken, look left, get the next level. Okay, so you can see it traded within there, came back down, tested it, rejected, or bounced off of it, moved up. Once it broke this level, let's look left again, the open there. What did it do? It went up, broke it, came back, retested it, continued higher. So we keep going. So I would want to see a break here, and the next level becomes that open there. And then once you start seeing all this congestion like this, all this type of all these different wicks and all these different opens, these are the kind of areas you want to be avoiding. You want to be looking for that clear space. It goes back to that same idea where I've always been wanting to trade clear space. That's always the idea, always. And look at that. So not quite a full test, but you can see once it broke this final area of resistance here, once it broke all these wicks, it moved up naturally. And where's the next place it's going to go up? Since we have all this clear space, it's going to come test this level. And again, like I said, it didn't test all the way up, but you're not looking to grab the entire move. You're looking to scalp, get in and out, and it did exactly that. It gave you that exact opportunity. So it broke above it, again retested it, and then moved up higher. And everything else was in line. We had a green bar RSI close. We were 3CR'd on the 15-minute. You can see it 1, 2, 3 here with the pullback. Beautiful. 30-minute closed as well with the pullback as well. Everything was lined up. We had all of our levels. There was a couple different nice trades here that you could have taken from level to level. You could have waited here and then taken this, as this was the most clear space. Yeah, but I mean, you can see just how well these levels are being respected, how much they're being tested. And yeah, I mean, I think this is great. I'm gonna still look into this. This is gonna be something that I'm gonna be studying this upcoming week. Really excited about it. But I just wanted to share this. See, I always like to give you guys, even if I don't fully follow through with ideas, I always like to put them out there so that you guys can kind of get into my thought process, and maybe it sparks something that I missed in your thinking that you guys pick up that I didn't. I just like to share everything that I kind of pick up. So let me know if you guys think this is useful, or what you guys think. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.